What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, this was voted on by the channel members, and it was the one of the 5. They got the absolute most votes. So naturally, I had to do this one first, and it kind of works out because the day this video goes live, I'm actually having a nice little fun night out at the movie theater, go and see The Flash with the wife. So yeah, this is voted on by the members. 10 fragrances that are meant for a good fun night out. This isn't for serious date night fragrances. This is stuff that's a little playful, a little flirty, while still having some of the sweetness and the spices and things that, you know, kind of gear a lot of scent profiles towards evenings. So let's talk about them. Stay tuned. I felt it only right to talk about the fragrance I plan on wearing, the newest flanker in the Strong With You line. This is Armani Strong With You Amber. So the note breakdown leaves a little bit to be desired when you actually smell this one, because it's listed as lavender, amber, and vanilla. Now I get a little bit of white florals. I get kind of a burnt sugary sweetness. I get fiery hot cinnamon spice. As it dries, I get that roasted chestnut that the DNA is known for. I get a lot more going on than the notes that they give us. Performance is great. This is a little bit more playful than, say, the original, for example. Now, intensely, not the most serious fragrance because it's crazy sweet. Here you get a nice balance. I get kind of the opening of Mancera Instant Crush here. That's why I think there's a little bit of white florals hiding in the background here with a little bit of that burnt sugar smell from it that kind of not really gives it much of a BR540 vibe, but kind of sort of, because I get a little bit of Instant Crush. But it smells like Instant Crush mixed with Stronger With You, which when it was announced, I thought it was going to be more like Nichane's Ani mixed with it, or Grand Soir mixed with Stronger With You. Not the case. Very happy with the way this turned out. This is definitely one of my favorite versions of Stronger With You. I've been itching to have a reason to wear this one out. I've been doing test sprays since I got it, but now we're going to give a full wearing. Great for going to, we're going to hit the theater. We're going, God knows what else we're going to do before and after, because the time frame that we're going, we have time to do stuff before and after. So I don't know where we're going to go to dinner. We're going to go have a nice casual dinner, go hit the movie theater, watch the movie, and who knows what the rest of the night will take us. But this fragrance has the performance, has the playfulness with a little bit of spice that has that alluring feel. So had to start off with what I'm going to be wearing with Stronger With You Amber. This one seems kind of obvious. I'm pretty sure I'll put this one in the thumbnail. This is Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. Now some of you may be saying, I thought you would recommend Afnan 9 PM here, which is Afnan's clone. This fragrance that's a little smoother, a little bit fruitier, because instead of that fresh pear note that you get out of this one, that one has a fruity apple. The reason I chose this one is this one comes across as a little bit more juvenile, youthful, and playful overall, because it's not as smooth, and that, I don't know, it's just something about the freshness of that pear. That's one of the notes that this fragrance is most known for. Performance is stellar. It is absolutely more than necessary. Sweet fragrance at its finest. Very youthful, very playful. Like I said, very flirty. This one falls into that. Great for younger fellas, and then for nights like going bowling, for example, or going hit Top Golf, go and have drinks, hitting the club, which a lot of these are good for that. It all falls pretty much in the same categories how you can look at it. You got to be into sweet, though. A little synthetically harsh and screechy at the top, but the top note is pretty nice overall because, like I said, it has that juicy pear to provide. Not really all that much of a sweet fruity tone, more of a fresh fruity tone with a lot of cinnamon spice lingering in the background with this beautiful sweetness, a little bit of woods as it dries, this little ambery. Just a classic for this type of scenario. It's Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. So when I think of topics like this particular fragrance in the Spicebomb line really jumps into my mind. It is Spicebomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum. So the reason this is the most playful of the group, in my opinion, is Night Vision Eau de Toilette had more of that bubblegum Invictus type of sweetness to it, plus spices. Here you still stay true to that. That is still very much present in this fragrance, but it's creamier, it's smoother. The pimento stands out a little bit more. It's like a pimento spice added here with some nutty notes accord and some pistachio. Really changes the scent profile's character greatly. Doesn't make it all that much more serious than Night Vision Eau de Toilette. Still has the playfulness, but it's just a little bit more interesting. Very powerful, great attention grabber, kind of a unique scent. Has a little bit of what made it overly, not unique and mass appealing, which kind of gave Night Vision EDT lukewarm reception when it came out, and just kind of reworked it, revamped it, and I call it the Night Vision EDP treatment, because they really stayed true to that original and, like I said, rebuilt it from the ground up almost, made so much better of a fragrance. This is a lot of people's favorite in the Spicebomb line because it can be worn for the typical cooler weather date night scenarios that typically most Spicebomb and Spicebomb flankers would be worn for, but this one kind of shines in these more casual night out type of scenarios, the fun night out as we're calling it. So if you haven't gotten your nose on this one yet, I thoroughly believe you're missing out, because it could be your favorite version of Spicebomb, because I go back and forth. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but it's at least my top 2 in the Spicebomb line, which for a line full of amazing fragrances, that says a lot. Viktor and Rolf Spicebomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum. I mean, this fragrance DNA was made for this, right? Clubbing fragrance, fun night out, youthful, playful, a little alluring, kind of boring for some because it's been around for a long time. We're talking about the Eros DNA, but specifically we're talking about Eros Eau de Parfum for this particular video. A lot of people would go with the Eau de Toilette. I like a little bit more of the warmth that the Eau de Parfum brings. It's a nice balance between the Eau de Toilette and the Parfum. And I debated on Flame here. I know a lot of people say, what about Eros Flame? While it's not a serious fragrance, I want to preface what I'm about to say with, it's not a serious fragrance. When you compare it to the 3 main concentrations of Eros, it's the more mature, serious version of Eros. Again, it's not, but when you compare it to this scent profile, it is. So I think this kind of brings the best of everything. Performance is still great, the kind of performance you expected, that bright, loud nature, that attention-grabbing, charismatic appeal of the scent profile. All of that is still here from the Eau de Toilette with a little bit smoother edges like the Parfum. Not quite as warm, not quite as ambery, but also not as full of ambroxan, I find. Still get that minty freshness, that fruity apple feel, nice and aromatic with the creamy vanilla. Everything that's to like about Eros is definitely here. I think it's the ultimate version of the scent profile we had to have Versace Eros Eau de Parfum. I honestly believe this is only good for these scenarios. I wouldn't wear it for anything else. I wouldn't wear it casually. I wouldn't wear it to work. I wouldn't wear it during the day. But boy, for a fun night out, especially things like what I'm going to do, and this would be great going to the movies. Get yourself some Sour Patch Kids, big bag of popcorn, big drink, cuddle up in your chair and watch the big screen with something like Making Sense and an Unaverage Joe's Unaverage Patch. This is a candy fragrance through and through. You can see the Sour Patch Kids in the backdrop right there. That's what it smells like. It's a sweet and sour candy type of fragrance. Stream comes out of this. Very sour, sweet candy type of smell. As it dries down, some of that sharp synthetic tone does calm down, because it's very, very this is a sickeningly sweet type of fragrance. You got to really like candy fragrances. It's very much, it curves a sweet tooth kind of scent profile. It settles into this beautiful creamy vanilla. So it's kind of 2-stage, where it's very bright, sharp, sour, and sweet, dries down to very smooth, creamy, and sweet. Beautiful stuff, crazy performer. Like I said, I literally don't think it's good for anything but a casual, fun night out with your lady, with friends, any age. It's a playful scent. It's a fun scent. But it's a polarizing scent, because this is the sweetest of the sweet. It smells like Sour Patch Kids and just candy in general. Sugary, sweet, a little sour candy. But I'm telling you, if you like going out and about, the evenings are your jam, you might want to check this one out, because it's built for it. Making Sense Unaverage Patch. We've talked about some very youthful fragrances thus far, but what about the guys that don't want all that sweet, but still want something alluring, but not so serious? Maybe something a little more powdery, a little bit more floral. Well, the Legend DNA is known to have that alluring appeal to the ladies. Well, what if I told you there's a fragrance that takes that DNA, smooths it out, adds a little bit more of a mature vibe? I would recommend this to the guys 30 and over that don't like all that playful sweetness, but still want a somewhat playful, flirty type of fragrance with a very masculine tone. I would say Mont Blanc Legend Night is probably the fragrance you're looking for. This has a beautiful powdery violet. It's like taking a little tiny bit of the Fahrenheit DNA, a little tiny bit of YSL Lannoitte de l'Homme, and sprinkling it all over the top of Mont Blanc Legend. And that's pretty much what you're going to get here. Beautiful earthiness to this vetiver patchouli combo. The sweetness comes from vanilla. It's powdery and floral and a little spiced. This is a beautiful fragrance. I don't really wear it all that often. I'm very selective when I wear it, but I think for situations like this, it's actually great for it. Underappreciated, underutilized, underrecommended when it comes to recommendations in the evenings. It seems to get forgotten about. A little bit of a fresh, spicy tone. Like I said, it's a little peppery, spice, sage type of feel. It's really, really good. It's the slightly more mature take on Legend, I guess is how you could say it. Because Legend, not a serious fragrance. Classic DNA built off of the back and success of Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, which a lot of guys grew up with, especially in my age range. And this just refines it, smooths it out. So if you want something that's still casual and flirty for a night out, but for, you know, if you don't like all the sweetness, but you still want a little playfulness, you might want to check out Mont Blanc Legend Night. Okay, enough of that smoothness. We're going back to sweet and playful. So this one needs to be in this video. It deserves a spot. It is Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Lucky. Honey, plum, hazelnut. Great performance. Not all that spicy. Very much sweet. Very, very charismatic. This one, big time compliment getter. Great for you young bucks that like to hit the club, but just a regular, you know, casual night out. Go and have drinks, doing whatever. This is perfect for that. I wouldn't go in the highest of heat if it's, you know, super humid outside type of thing, and you're going to be outdoors on patios and, you know, like, or Top Golf like we mentioned earlier. Maybe not the best choice for that because it is a pretty hefty, heavy type of scent profile. That honey accord that's in here kind of makes it a little thick, almost a little sticky type of aroma. It will definitely linger, but this stuff, so attractive. I mean, you see the juice level has dropped. This is good stuff. I would say situationally, it's ideal for these casual night outs, but you gotta like sweet. Again, for a lot of people, this is their favorite version of 1 Million. And I can't say I blame you. It's one of my favorites, but there was never really a time when it was my absolute favorite. But for this particular topic, a good, fun, casual night out, I think it's the best choice of the 1 Millions. It's 1 Million Lucky. In my opinion, the most well-balanced of getting that sweet and getting that spice from the wanted DNA. I think the most wanted is the most appropriate choice. Now, some people will say they prefer most wanted Parfum. That's a little bit sweeter than this one, honestly. A little bit more woodsy as well, but this one's built around toffee. A little bit of a, I believe cardamom's the sweetness here. Adds kind of a bright vibrance, freshness to the spicy tone. But it's all about that toffee. It's warm. It's a simple design with the formula. It's nothing complex. It doesn't smell like there's a bunch going on and they're not telling you the whole story with the formula. It smells about as straightforward and simplistic as the 3-note note breakdown would imply. Performance is really good, strong and present without being overwhelming. This one's not too sweet. This is one of the less sweet fragrances in this particular video, but still does the trick. I would say you gentlemen that don't like the super sweet, because there's a few that are super sweet, your ultra males, your Unaverage Patch, your 1 Million Luckies, those are the super sweet ones in this video. This one balances out a little bit more, and I think that's what I appreciate the most out of it. If you haven't gotten your nose on this one yet, it might end up being your go-to. I'm not the only one who this is their favorite version of Wanted. It's absolutely worth sampling. Get your nose on this one, guys. It's Azzaro, the most wanted. This next one might surprise some of you. So we had to have something that's on the pricier side, something outside the box, outside the norm, off the beaten path, if you will. But you gotta like mint. Heavy dose of spearmint oil on the top of this one. It is Amouage Enclave. This is a stunning fragrance. 4 sprays overwhelms my wife. It's crazy strong. It's got olibanum resinous incense type of smell to it, orientals, woods. Beautiful bright cardamom. So this is a fresh cardamom note. It really enhances kind of the minty tone of this spearmint oil. I've heard people say toothpaste. I kind of see where they're coming from, but the quality here is just phenomenal. I really wouldn't want to relate it to toothpaste, but I've heard people say that because it's just so minty. Like I said, it's straight up spearmint oil that's in here. Man, oh man, this is good stuff. That spearmint oil cardamom combo is second to none when it comes to just delight, impressiveness because of just the way it comes across, and then power. This is highly wearable, but it's so powerful that you need to know who you're going to be with and assess your situation, because this one can be overdone and too much. This is a less is more fragrance, but it will be a topic of conversation because it's so unique. Even for a minty fragrance, this is extremely unique. A lot of spices, a lot of woods, incense, and smokiness while being mega, mega minty fresh. Casual, yet refined. Interesting. Typically that would be a contradiction, but here it makes sense if you've smelled this one before. Absolutely worth trying. Probably the most playful, I would say, of the men's releases from Amouage in a long time is Amouage Enclave. Last but not least, this one might surprise you as well because it's fruity, aptly fruity type of smell with a slightly earthy, creamy tobacco that kind of grounds this when it's on the sweeter side, but this isn't all that sweet of a fragrance. It is from Diesel. This is Only the Brave Tattoo. Yes, the cheesy fist with the Diesel ring bottle. Okay, I get it. So you're going to think young man's fragrance when you see this. I understand. I think that too when I look at Diesel fragrances, but there's some gems in the Only the Brave line. This one in particular is so well-rounded. It's not super synthetic. It doesn't smell crazy cheap. It's grounded by the earthiness of whatever synthetic tobacco oil was used here because it's not super earthy. It still has a sweetness to it. There's a light spiciness lingering in the background to kind of counterbalance some of the sweetness because it's more of a fruity sweet. I believe it's a red apple note that's in here if I remember correctly. A little ambery, a little bit of woods as it dries. There's a slight powdery tone. Performance is great on this one. This one's every bit of 8 to 10 hours on skin. Some may get less, some may get more. That's kind of where it falls for me. And it's pronounced without being overwhelming. Long as you're easy on the sprays and don't go crazy with 8-10 sprays, keep it in the 3 to 5 spray range. You'll be able to pull some attention. It's going to last on your skin. And it's going to smell a little different. Even though there's some fruity sweetness and some earthiness here from tobacco, even on a warm summer's eve, I don't think you're going to be in bad shape with this one. You're going to kind of step outside the box from what probably all your friends that you're with are wearing. It's very attractive. It's easy to cuddle with. Your lady's probably going to like it. And it's affordable. You can find it in the $30-some-odd range for a 75 ml bottle like this. And you probably never even thought to give it a chance. Great for a casual night out, in my opinion, is Diesel Only the Brave Tattoo. Well, that's the 10 that I have for you today. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. Thank you to all the members that voted for this one. I was kind of surprised that it was the most voted on video of the 5 options given in the members-only poll. But it was a fun one, for sure. Let me know down below, is this some of your favorites for a casual night out? What is your favorite? What's your go-to for situations like I was talking about throughout this video? Let me know down below. It's going to be some interesting answers to see down in the comment section. This should be a fun one. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the 10 that I recommended here today and you give them a spray now, you know, there's always that chance you might thank me later. Have a good one, guys.